Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of our doubleheader. Kelso taking on Mark Morris. It's the boys' turn here on Ted Nat Court. Good to have you with us, Nick Sisson, on behalf of N2 Media. We have had a really tough time getting on schedule here tonight. All the festivities and all the people, and plus a ton of fouls called in the girls' game that Mark Morris just won 47-41. But now it's time for the gentlemen's game. Mark Morris comes into this one 5-0 on the season, and Kelso has only played 2, and so far they've been on the losing end of both of those matchups, having played tough competition, albeit losing at Ridgefield and then losing at home against the Skyview Storm. We just saw them in that game not too long ago, a couple days ago, Tuesday. Kelso played much better in the second half in that ball game, but fell behind by 25 at the break. Mark Morris has already won a couple of games this week, Tuesday and Thursday. Win over Hudson's Bay, and then a win over Woodland last night. So they already are 2-0 in the Greater St. Helens League, as we are all ready to go here for all of the introductions. And so I'm not going to speak for a little bit, let you enjoy the background, and I'll be working the camera here. So Bill Bakamus night at Mark Morris High School. Fans, please feel free to type into the live stream comment section thoughts, prayers, hopes, dreams, nice thoughts, good memories, where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, favorite color.
Thank you, Dave. Welcome, everybody. It's my honor to be here tonight to do a little lead-in for that guy right over there. I'd like to welcome everybody to Billy's Barn. We're at Billy's Barn tonight. Now, Mark Morris, Athletic Director Robert Blackman, said, hey, you have 5 minutes to talk about Bill's career here. 5 minutes, so I jotted down some notes. I'll give it a shot. First, we'd like to thank some people, including a great local company, J.H. Kelly. They spearheaded the marker that is outside the gym.
Oh my gosh, someone just unplugged my cord. I'm so sorry, folks.
To Bill Bakamus Gymnasium here, and when you go out to the concession stand, when this game gets going, you can check that out. They're going to unveil it in front of the family in just a little bit after this ceremony's over here. But thanks to J.H. Kelly, we'd like to thank Jackie Evans and Mason Evans and Rob Harris. Thank you very much. And also thanks to Aaron Hardy and Harold Graham, who did a great job showcasing their design talent in really making a work of art out there in the front. And also thanks to my old Mark Morris coach, Cal Fowler, for all of the research and time commitment you get on this endeavor.
Picture will be back up here in just a second, folks. So sorry.
So you might be asking the question, how do you go about getting a gymnasium named after you? I'm not sure. You know, Ed Pebble and Dave Denny coached here. They were pretty good. They didn't coach as long as this guy, Bill Bakamus. And I guess it doesn't hurt to win 70% of your games, be 4th all-time in the state for victories, win 25 league titles, 11 district championships, appear in 24 state tournaments, win 11 state trophies, and garner 4 academic state championships. Now, Bill, those numbers help. Those numbers help a little bit. But I'll tell you what, for Billy Bay, it's just part of the honor. It's why he's in the WIPCA Hall of Fame, an organization that Bill has given so much of his leadership towards. And I see Pat Fitterer and Nayland Sood here tonight, legends in their own right, showing the honor here for Coach Bakamus. That's great. We're on Ted Nat Court. Bill, you spearheaded that whole thing. You got the Nat family to step up and make this a safe court. Because if they're old Monarchs like myself that played on this court, you know how dangerous it was. And Bill, you got it spearheaded to make this an awesome court and a safe court for our athletes. That helps to get the gymnasium named after you. But really, it's all about Bill's impact on the school, the student athletes, and the community. Now, the game of basketball is huge for Bill. 20 of Bill's Monarchs have gone into the coaching profession. 23 if you count Scotty Merzoin who's here, Grady Fallon, Scott Isaac. It's a lot of guys that took your passion and also helped in the development of the game of basketball. 56 of Bill's players have gone on to play college basketball. Bill's impact on the game, folks, is really powerful. There's no doubt. And when a coaching voice was needed, when the WIAA came up with some lame idea, Billy B was right in the forefront and took it on. By the way, Mike Colbreeze won't be here tonight. That's too bad. I'm sorry. Now, many of you here tonight and others across the Northwest have Bill Bakamus stories. He's what we call in the business a real beauty. And Joe Kinch, great friend of Bill. Joe, thank you so much for having your team here and being patient here tonight. And I know you're looking forward to spoiling the whole party here tonight. It's great to have Joe Kinch and Kelso here, part of this. That's what's called a smattering of applause for you, Joe. So you keep working. You keep grinding, my man. That auxiliary gym upstairs, Joe Kinch Gym, that'll be awesome. That was not very nice, I'm sorry. Tonight is also a tribute to all the great assistant coaches under Bill. Steve Clokey, Steve McCallum, of course the Ken Kelly and all the others, and they had a unique ringside seat to a very unique coach. Bill is old school, but Bill kind of brings it in a way that's cool, right? Bill is stubborn. Lord knows he would rather ask for forgiveness instead of permission. On second thought, forget the forgiveness. As Bill likes to say, all major decisions have been predetermined. And I'm glad Bill is using his retirement to pursue his true passion, taking pictures of train graffiti. If you know, you know. That's an inside joke right there. Through high school basketball, Bill has built a great coalition of great young men who have turned out to be exactly what he is. Loyal to the community, great family man, outstanding father, husband, and people. To have played for Coach B, it's an honor that hundreds of Monarchs carry every day, Bill, and many of them are here tonight. As a parent of one of your players, thanks for ripping my son and making him a man. Folks, we could go on forever. There's always another Bill Bakamus story. That's how you get a gymnasium named after you. You do your job with passion, and you do it well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man of the hour here at Billy's Farm, Bill Bakamus.
Okay, I'm going to make it quick. There's just so many people that I would like to thank, and if I don't thank you, you can send it to an email here at my school, but I'm retired, so I won't get it. First off, I'd just like to thank the administration, in particular Robert Blackman, who I've worked many, many years with, Paul Beckel, Aaron Whitwright, Gary Kidd, who hired me, fantastic man. I'd like to thank all of you as fans. Fantastic, you're loyal, you're committed, you enjoy being here, school sports what it really is. To the band, to the student body, to the round ball rowdies, to the cheerleaders, you guys are one of a kind. You're what high school sports is all about. And I know how hard you guys work. So, you know, you put as much time in as these guys do. We know that. I'd also like to make mention about my high school coach, Ron Nilsson, my high school principal, Gib Grider, and I'd be remiss not to mention Dave Denny. Dave Denny's the man who built this program, and he did a damn good job of doing it. 3 state titles and 2 runners-up. So, you know. I'd like to thank my staff, both current staff and ex-staff. I've had a lot of guys. I see Eric Michaelbus sitting over there. I had to fire him after 1 year. But everybody that's worked with me knows that we collaborate, we work together, and it's a team effort. It's just, I'm just happen to be the head coach. In particular, Steve Clokey and Steve McCallum, who we've gone through as many awards as anybody. State tournaments, district tournaments, whatever it may be, but they were always on my side, and we were just all equal. To my family, who are all here, appreciate you guys being here more than you'll ever know. My sister Gladys, husband Brew, my children are here. I was lucky enough to be in the high school for 12 years, and they all went through. And a lot of people can't talk about going to work and having their kids by their side. Joe Kinch can, he understands. His kids were in high school for 12 years, so it's really a unique thing. You were in school for, no, you only went to school for 4 years? I mean, your kids all went there for 12 years. Okay, anyway, you get the point. Joe's one of my very best friends. I just had to give him $100 because we like to do a little betting on the side, but not about tonight's game. I particularly want to thank my wife, Kathy Bakamus, who's one of a kind. Kathy Bakamus, swear to God, she is the greatest coach's wife in the world. At least that's what she tells me. And then, finally, this lady right here, Jocelyn Shower, she always tried to keep me on the tracks. And sometimes I got off them a little bit, but you always were by my side. To Dave, Andrew, Kirk Rowland, 2 of the best, if not the best in the state of Washington. The time that they put into this school is crazy, and it's just so quality. And then, last but not least, to my players. I know I'm not the easiest guy to get along with. That's been documented once. And you know, I look at the names on that wall, and I could easily give you another 200 kids that could be on that wall or should be on the wall. The Dietz, the Polis brothers, the Baker, the list goes on and on and on. But it's the players that really make the program, and their commitment and their dedication. And I was blessed to be here, absolutely blessed, because these kids believe in a certain thing in a certain way, and they're good in the classroom, and they're leaders, and I'm super proud of them. And I'm excited about the game. So we're going to get to the game, but I'm going to get this thing a little fired up, because I can do that. Hey, right now, if you're here to cheer on Mark Morris, I just want you to stand up. Right now. Hang on. Because we're going to get this thing frothy, because we're going to play the guys from across the river. And all I want you to do is take off your cool coat and repeat after me. And then I'm going to have one final thank you after I do this. But you got to take off your cool coat. You got to be super loud. So be on my team, because we're all Monarchs. Here we go. Repeat after me, nice and loud. We are the Monarchs, the best by far. We are the Monarchs, best by far. We'll smoke your butt like a team cigar. Motivated, dedicated, that's our style. Motivated, dedicated, that's our style. It's been that way for a long, long while. It's been that way for a long, long while. Go Monarchs! Go Monarchs! God bless America, and God bless the Mark Morris Monarchs. Let's go!
There he is, folks. Bill Bakamus
march here. Robert Blackman, the AD, with a plaque for Bill.
Peak form
All right, we're going to
for Coach Bakamus. We still do have a basketball game.
It's kind of reserved for the Bakamus family right now for photos, and go out there to unveil it with Bill and his family. It'll be open.
Mark Morris,
later this evening,
this year's version, coached by Ken Kelly,
to take a look. Coach B, great to see
assisted
you. Kelso, thank you for
by
your
Steve
gracious
Clokey and
work
Hayden
for our
Tilton.
high school. We'll work
5-0
5
on the
minutes
season.
and we'll play high school
They're going to put 5 more minutes on the clock.
Once again, welcome tonight to
Kelso
Tech
Hilanders, you might have heard by now,
Bill
coached by
Bakamus
Joe
Gymnasium.
Kinch in his 26th season. I shared a couple of brief messages with former RA Long coach Kyle Fowler recently, and he had mentioned to me that the night that they unveiled Ted Nat Court, it was a spectacular crowd and everyone was fired up. It also happened to be a Civil War rivalry between RA Long and Mark Morris. And at the end of the night, it was Coach Fowler's Lumberjacks coming away with the win and spoiling the festivities. Do the Kelso Hilanders have an ace up their sleeve here tonight and a chance to upset the undefeated 5-0 Mark Morris Monarchs, who many, including myself, believe they are destined for a postseason run once again that should and could wind up being in the Yakima Valley Sundome. Kelso's still looking for their first win of the year, and I think tonight would be a great night to pick one up. So we'll find out here in about 7 to 10 minutes time, 3:40 on the game clock. We're going to have pregame introductions. I don't know if they're going to do another national anthem or not. We're already behind schedule. They had this game scheduled at 7 o'clock, and here we are. It's 7:49. Fans, be sure to type into the live stream comment section where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. As long as they're under the rating of R, I will read them. Maybe even sometimes some rated R ones, who knows? We like to have fun here too. In case you missed it, folks, the Mark Morris girls defeated Kelso 47-41 in tonight's undercard of the doubleheader.
Tonight between the first and second quarters, we're doing a miracle minute, raising money for a family through the Dornbeckers Children's Hospital. Be ready with the warm-ups after the first quarter.
Daniel says, let's go Kelso in the live stream comment section. Woo! Daniel Hargrove, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see that you've survived the last couple of days, Daniel. Really looking forward to Sunday. Hopefully you guys are in good spirits. After all, I was really, more or less like, just looking for a shot. That's it. I was just looking for a shot. Believe me, I knew how good Tumwater was going into that game, but having watched a lot of Anacortes football over the last 3 seasons, I also knew that they don't back down from a challenge, and they're a tough school. So it was a good game. Good job. You guys were good sports about it. I'm sure the Scrimmage Redemption Tour will happen at some point. All right. Tim says pure class for Coach Bakamus. I do apologize for the blue screen during the speech there. I did not expect that, obviously.
Good evening, Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to Ted Nat Court here at Bill Bakamus Gymnasium. We are ready to play high school basketball. We'd like to welcome first our visitors, the Kelso Hilanders. And of course, they're here.
Jim DeBruler here. Just finished up broadcasting the Kelso girls on the radio. They're going to turn the lights out here for the Kelso Hilanders. And the first starter, number 0, A.J. Fabian, a 6'6 sophomore.
Number 1, Owen Dahl. A senior wing, number 2, Briar.
And then number 1, freshman Owen Dahl. Senior, number 2, Briar Iddings. Number 10, senior Tucker Amrine. And the senior 6'4", number 11, Triton Hagdahl Daniel. And again, Kelso coached by Joe Kinch, assistant Cedric Cheney, Justin Roberts,
We're gonna play some basketball.
Tom
Let's
DuBois.
make noise for your Mark Morris Monarchs. Starting at a forward, a senior, number 23, Carson Bachner.
First starter, number 23, Carson Bogner.
Also at a forward, also a senior, number 22, Jaden Brooks.
Number 22, 6'4", senior Jaden Brooks.
Senior, number 20, Nate Stevens.
Senior, number 20, Nate Stevens.
Running the show at the point, a junior, number 4, Drew Ibarreta.
Number 4, junior Drew Ibarreta, the point guard.
Senior, number 3, Dalton.
And number 3, senior Dalton Stevens,
The assistant coach,
one of the leading players in the Greater St. Helens League. His individual efforts have seen him already score 40 points in the opener here at home, season opener against Mountain View, and they are going to do another national anthem.
as we honor America tonight, the playing of the national anthem from the Mark Morris High School pep band under the direction of Annalise Beretta.
Mark Morris Pep Band with the playing of the national anthem.
All right, to get tonight's game
Comment section getting going here. Kyle Fowler says, thank you, Nick. This is great coverage for our community. Absolutely, Coach. Love your feedback.
Bill Bakamus will
We've got
get us
Craig
started
Marshall here
tonight
too,
with
as
the
well
Cal
as Tim Hinchcliffe, a couple of Lumberjacks. Tina Klein says, let's go Kelso.
Gymnasium.
Beat the Monarchs. Ooh.
Here we are, and the King's Court is now in session.
Bill Bakamus rings in the King's Court.
Our officials tonight, off of the Lower Columbia Officials
Hands
Association
the
are
big
Leslie,
hammer
Brian
off to
Cleveland,
Mac West.
Ryan Chin Chin.
Eric Cheatley and Ryan Chin Chin officiating this one. Chin Chin, a former player of Bill Bakamus. Investigation incoming. And now, see, this is what I'm talking about. The Kelso goes with the I believe we will win chant right here at the tip. This is what it's all about. The round ball rowdies can learn a thing or two. Now the Seven Nation Army chant. Dalton Stevens wins the tip. We are underway here in this non-league rivalry game between Kelso and Mark Morris. Believe you me, when I was playing for Kelso, there was nothing that we wanted to do more than beat Mark Morris. So this is definitely going to be a game that Kelso has had circled for a while. Short J, no good. Brooks is there for the offensive rebound. 2-0. Stevens, no good on his first attempt, but Brooks showing off his athleticism at 6'4", able to work the offensive glass. Open bucket taken there by Amrine, no good. Hagdahl Daniel loses his footing, throws it up, ties it, 2-2. Bogner with it now. 3 on the way, no good. Stevens hit the deck. Fabian with the rebound for Kelso. Now Amrine bounce pass top of the circle, gets to Hagdahl Daniel. Hands it off. Owen Dahl, a freshman. Has it poked loose, stolen away by Stevens, and a foul called. Kelso does not allow Dalton to get out and run.
Foul, Owen Dahl first team foul.
Bogner faces up and gets it to Stevens. That's Nate Stevens, by the way, one half of the Stevens law firm. Now Dalton with it, being guarded by Iddings. Ibarreta swings it. Passed up 3 by Bogner. Drives past 2 defenders and lays it in. Finger roll finish, 4-2. Kelso quick the other way. Briar Iddings pulls the trigger in front of the band. Nearly strikes it up. Misses that one. Ibarreta controls and pushes. Bogner. Couple dribbles. Nice footwork. Gets Fabian up and off his feet. Slides around and scores. Bogner with 4 in a row. 6-2 Monarchs. This one poked loose. Dive to the floor and poked away by Stevens. But Stevens is going to foul here as Dahl was getting back to pick it up.
Monarchs foul Nate Stevens first team foul.
Nice job.
Fabian finds Hagdahl Daniel all alone. Nice job there by the Hilanders to generate an easy bucket. Hagdahl Daniel with all 4 for Kelso. Hagdahl Daniel guarding on Brooks, now to Stevens, being guarded by Iddings, trying to jab off. A double team comes, and Amrine pokes the ball loose, but he's also going to pick up a foul. He kind of stumbled into Stevens a little bit there. Ibarreta picks up his dribble looking for help. Gets it at the elbow from Bogner, back to Drew. Now Brooks working on Hagdahl Daniel, kicks it back out. Ibarreta pointing around, looking for some help. Now dribbles back towards the near side. Stevens could have used the screen, went opposite, steps back 3. This one does not look good, it's short. Bogner offensive rebound. Double team now on the baseline, kicks it out. Brooks passes down low. Stevens muscles it up and count the bucket and 1. Iddings is gonna pick up the foul.
Jaden Brooks the assist.
8-4 Mark Morris, and subs coming in here for Kelso. Sophomore Carter Huntley and sophomore Parker Stewart. Second chance points leading to 2 for Mark Morris on this possession, and Stevens trying to make it 3 and does. Nearly a steal on the pass. Kelso working it across, looking to attack now. Dumps it off down low, poked away from behind by Nate Stevens. Turnover Hilanders. Kelso pushing far side. Corner 3 on the way, short. Stevens lost his footing and fell down, and a foul is going to be called on Brooks as Dahl hits the deck. The officials calling this one fairly tight here. 4:42 mark first quarter, 9-4. Monarchs with the lead.
Second team foul. Substitution, Mark Morris coming in, number 21, Mark Hendrickson.
Mark Hendrickson checking in for Mark Morris. Subs in for Nate Stevens. Freshman Dahl brings it across. Now Fabian looking to maybe face up, hands off to Huntley. Huntley circles, drives, is fouled. And I think this one's going to go against Hendrickson. We'll see if they've got it on the shot or the drive. And it's going to be on the shot. So Carter Huntley will head to the free throw line for Kelso. Huntley calmly hits the first. And into the ball game, some more size. 6'4" sophomore Reese White. The Highlanders got a lot of younger guys out there. They're going to be well improved by the time the season is over. That much I know for sure. 9-6 after 2 freebies from Huntley. Near wing, 3-point line extended. Stevens gives it up. Hendrickson now swings it. Bogner dribbles around, looking for some help at the elbow, gets it to Hendrickson. Stevens jabs opposite. Crosses over, gets a screen from Ibaretta. Iddings plows through it. Bogner has to get it up, does, misses it. Rebound loose on the floor, tied up. And dug out by Kelso, now tied up again. And a timeout is called by Joe Kings from the bench. How the official looked over and saw that, I don't know. But Kelso laying out here early. They're going to have possession, calling that timeout with 3:50 to go in the first quarter. 9-6, Mark Morris. More than a feeling out process here in the early going. Daniel says he loves the chant at the start of the game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for those who missed it, it's the I Believe We Will Win chant by the Kelso student section. Intense game here to start out. Throw the records out of the window. It does not matter. Rocky says that when I was teaching elementary school many moons ago, yes, my 5th grade class was this senior class. Battles were epic. Oh, I believe it, man. I mean, Kelso really doesn't have a natural rival, in my opinion, in the 3A Greater St. Helens. Back in the day for football, it used to be Columbia River. Now it's kind of Mountain View. But always the battles between Mark Morris and Kelso were huge. For some reason, more than the Kelso RA Long games. This ball is out of bounds on Kelso's possession, and they'll keep possession here in the near corner. Always a little extra here when you've got Kelso and Mark Morris basketball doing battle. Screen set up top. Dahl to tie. No, doesn't hit anything. This ball is going to go out of bounds. No, Huntley saves. Oh, official says out of bounds. Ball back to Mark Morris. 3:23 to go, opening quarter. We're going to get a sub. Tucker Amrine had a drink of water, and he's going to go and get Dahl. Hendrickson to inbound far side. I don't know what's up with that, Tim, to be completely honest with you. I'm not saying that there's like a disrespect level. Personally, for me, oh, he's saying about Ryan Chin-Chin, and he hasn't gone gray or bald. Yeah. Yeah. I'm 41 and still don't have any gray except like 3 or 4 hairs in my beard. First time I've grown a beard now, so I've discovered I have gray hairs in it. Traveling called. Good defense there. Double team under the basket, and Hendrickson can't keep his footing. Kelso looking to cut into this deficit here, trailing by 3 in the early going. Huntley with it, bringing it up for Kelso, gets it to Iddings. Iddings puts it on the deck. Being guarded by Hendrickson. Jump stop, Jay, 10-footer, rolls down for the senior Briar Iddings, and just like that, it's a 1-point game, 9-8. Anytime the score is 9-8, I can't help but think of the movie White Men Can't Jump. And this one's stolen away by Amrine. Iddings out in front, being chased down from behind, has to double clutch, misses the shot, touched it, and it goes out of bounds. Great chase down defense by Dalton Stevens to alter that fast break attempt by Briar Iddings.
Back in for Kelso, number 11, Triton Engdahl-Daniel.
2:19 to go, opening quarter. Hendrickson bringing it up for the Monarchs. Bogner goes to the baseline at Stevens. Stevens, no call. Innings hit the floor. Dalton calmly hits the baseline J. Back out to a 3-point lead. Stevens now with 5. 3 for the tie by Innings is short. Hagdahl Daniel pulls down the offensive rebound. Takes one dribble, steps back, misses the 12-footer. Rebound, Dalton Stevens. Stevens goes to work on Innings. This one's airballed long and last touched by Brooks out of bounds.
For Kelso, number 5, Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson checking in for the Hilanders off the bench. Robinson, a junior.
And for Mark Morris, number 33, Mac West.
1:38 to go. Mac West in the ball game as well for Mark Morris. Feeling out process here. Tight defense being played in the early going. Drive by Huntley, kicks it top of the circle. Dribble drive now. Amrine, his pass deflected. Ball loose on the floor. Dug out. Outlet up ahead. Ibarreta finishes. Brooks with another assist. And Ibarreta makes it a 5-point game. But Robinson off the bench cold. Gets hot real quick with a triple. Lead immediately cut back down to 2, 13-11. Into the corner, Ibarreta faces up, dribbles once, passes off Brooks now, puts it on the deck, moves it far side. Hendrickson gets a screen from West, picks up the dribble, West pops. Now to Ibarreta, ball fake, drive, nice play, count the bucket, and one for Drew Ibarreta, who just recently had a career high in scoring. I thought I saw 17 on Twitter, but I saw 14 on the Blast Zone Media box score. Either way, that's still very good. 15-11 the score. Ibarreta at the charity stripe. Hits. And we're going to get a substitution here. Dalton Stevens will check out. Carson Bogner back in. 46 seconds to go here in the end of the first quarter. Huntley will bring it up for Kelso. Huntley looking for a screen. Hagdahl Daniel moves away now and rolls to the basket. Ball swing to the near side. 3 by Amrine, rolls off. Boxed out by West. Rebound by West. Mark Morris can hold for the final shot. Shot clock is off. West faces up, still with his dribble, moves it, top of the circle. Hendrickson, flex cut down low. Bogner receives it and lays it in. Clinically executed play by Mark Morris. Bogner with another. 4 seconds on the clock. Huntley loses control, doesn't know that it's got to go up, and it's not going to head towards the basket. Brooks defending the pass to the top of the circle. 18-11. Mark Morris with the lead. Bogner with 6 in the first quarter. Dalton Stevens and Drew Ibarreta each with 5. And then Jaden Brooks with 2. For Kelso, Triton Hagdahl Daniel with 4. Anthony Robinson with 3. Briar Innings with 2. Carter Huntley with 2. 18-11 here at the end of 1. Well, fans, to quote Russell Crowe in Gladiator, are you not entertained? Non-league basketball final score, girls edition. WF West beats Eatonville 68-28. Boys basketball, WF West and Ridgefield playing one another, and Ridgefield leads it 47-37.
If you lost a cell phone, there was one found earlier tonight at the LCC.
Boys basketball, third quarter, Union leading Evergreen 40-19. Whoa. Man, Evergreen only with 19 at the end of the third quarter. Kelso will start with the basketball here in the second. Iddings moves it to the corner. Hagdahl Daniel out of the corner. Might have been bumped. Ball poked loose by Bogner. Mark Morris comes away with it. Traveling called. Brooks called for the infraction. Stevens was going to go up and pack it, by the way, on this end. .7:43 second quarter. Iddings to inbound it for the Highlanders. Gets it in. Triton Hagdahl Daniel is held on the floor. No shot. Foul is called on Ibarreta. Oh, well, excuse me. They do have shots here. Okay. Moderately surprised there. Triton's first on the way. Good. 5 now for Triton. And Hagdahl Daniel misses. Then we got a whistle, and it looks like we've got a foul, loose ball variety, against Parker Stewart of Kelso.
Parker Stewart is first team foul.
That'll be the first on Parker Stewart. High screen by West. Switch on defense. Stewart picks up Ibarreta. Ibarreta tries to thread the needle back door to Bogner, and it's out of bounds off Mark Morris. Ball fake and a Kentucky 2 taken by Robinson. No good. High up for the rebound is Stevens. Dalton, that is. Ibarreta will get it across here for the Monarchs. Picks up his dribble quickly. Tough pass. West stumbled around a little bit, but secures and faces up. Goes to Stevens. Dalton brings it back. Moves it back near side. Bogner, drop step spin. Keeping his pivot foot down. Hagdahl Daniel, hand up in his face. Cannot defend it. Bogner able to convert, and we've got a technical foul on Jaden Brooks. So after the made basket, Brooks is teed up. Free throws here for Kelso and possession. And then Triton will head to the charity stripe to shoot these. 8-point lead for the Monarchs. How about Carson Bogner with 8 so far? Hagdahl hits the first. And Hagdahl Daniel has the second one roll off. Kelso will have possession though. That counts as a personal foul as well for Brooks. That's his first.
For the Monarchs, 21 Mark Hendrickson.
Hendrickson back into the game. Mac West checks out. Nice crowd in attendance, obviously, here for the occasion. Trailing from behind is Ibarreta, who comes away with the steal. And a loose ball foul is going to be called against Kelso. It's going to go against Hagdahl Daniel. It's going to be his first. Into the ball game, Bronson Miller and Tucker Amrine. Stewart and Robinson head to the bench for Kelso. Hendrickson helping dry off the ball and then uses the towel to wipe the sweat off his brow. 6:44 to go in the second. Mark Morris with the lead and the ball, 20-13. Far side faced up is Bogner, looking to enter. Said puts it on the deck. Hendrickson, nice ball fake, drives, kicks it back. Bogner takes his place, drives in the paint, kicks it. Hendrickson takes his place, 3 on the way and good. Mark Hendrickson, the senior, with his first bucket. Long pass up ahead, Amrine Gets it back to Dahl. Kelso moves it around the perimeter far side. Iddings, without his dribble, needs some help. Looking down to Miller. Going to go up top here, Hagdahl Daniel. Being guarded by Bogner. Dribbles low, rips the ball up ahead, hands off, underhand style. Nice pass from, nice block there by Stevens, but ball ended up getting reversed back to the near side. Stevens gets a screen from Bogner. Bogner rolls. Stevens puts it on the deck. Amrine pokes it loose. Stevens still with it, and he traveled.
No basket, traveling.
I can read lips. Stevens said, "What?" 5:36 to go in the second. And it's going to be number 21, Carter Huntley, checking back in here for the Highlanders. Huntley will bring it up here for the Highlanders. Huntley guarded by Stevens, gets it to Hagdahl Daniel. Jabs off the defender after one dribble and hits a fader from just in front of the three-point line. He's really done a great job of working on his perimeter game in the offseason. Backdoor cut, Stevens poked away Iddings. Iddings on top of Stevens, and I think that they're going to get a foul on Iddings. And they are. Trying to tie it up, and Coach Kinch says to the official Ryan Chinchin that he does not approve. Monarchs work the far block now with Bogner being double teamed. It's stolen away. Miller got his hand on it. Huntley with it now, bringing it up. Iddings gets a screen, goes opposite. Stops and pops from 10, no. Rebound Stevens. High post, Hendrickson calls for the ball. Nice little head fake, up and under, gets it back out. Three on the way from Stevens, no. Rebound Mac West, kicks it out, top of the circle. Iberetta's triple is down. 8 for Iberetta, timeout, Kelso. 26-15, Monarchs with the advantage. Kelso basketball out of the timeout. They trail 26-15. Bogner and Iberetta doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the scoring column so far, but Stevens still doing a lot defensively, and with loose ball dove to the floor by Brooks, and the Monarchs come away with a turnover. That one was more unforced than anything else, and now we've got whistle. And they're going to have them put 26 on the shot clock because the shot clock did not start. And that's going to give Kelso a chance to substitute. Hagdahl Daniel checks out. A.J. Fabian checks in. Swing pass near side. Brooks goes to the corner. Hendrickson lines it up. Nothing but twine. Mark Hendrickson with 6 off the bench. Fabian hands off. Huntley goes back to the near side and tries to toe the baseline. He's out of bounds. Turnover Kelso, the second consecutive. This game's starting to get away from the Highlanders, 29-15. Brooks picks up his dribble, skips it back near side. Hendrickson dribbles a couple times, shows the ball, gets the defender off his feet, dishes it off. Stevens, the Monarchs are scorching hot from long range. 8 now for Dalton, 32-15. It's a 17-point lead. Huntley jump stops down low, and he is fouled before going out of bounds.
Monarchs foul, Drew Iberetta's second.
Head coach Ken Kelly likes what he sees from the Monarchs. Appreciative of the effort, and now the round ball Rowdies with the "we can't hear you" chant over towards the near sideline here. And now the "let's play football" chant. That's always been a classic. Oh, here we go. We got the student sections going back and forth here at one another. Classic. Stevens, guarded by Amrine, backs it out. Pulls the trigger, falls down, no good. Iberetta not boxed out, tracks it down, and he's fouled. Iberetta's like a classic Mark Morris Monarchs point guard. He's tough, scrappy, high basketball IQ, great work ethic. Bogner back in, Hendrickson checks out. Hendrickson with very productive minutes off the bench so far and 6 points on the score sheet. Iberetta receives the inbound, goes near side, West faces up. Dribbles once, Iberetta trying to come over to the corner. West being guarded tightly, is able to get it, and we got a foul called. It's going to be a moving screen called against Mac West.
Offensive foul on the Monarchs. Mac West first. Fourth team foul.
Kelso only with 4 points so far here in the second. Iddings pulls the trigger with Weston on, no good. Fabian offensive rebound, turnaround hook, rolls off. Bogner has it ripped out, ball loose. Stevens has it stripped. On the floor, jump ball is called. Stevens and Huntley battling for it. And it's going to be Mark Morris possession. Nate Stevens back into the game. Mac West checks out.
11 Triton, Hagdahl Daniel for Kelso.
And Hagdahl Daniel back in for the Hilanders. 32-15, under 2 to go here in the first half. Iberetta a couple feet behind the line. No. Iddings with the board for Kelso. Far corner feed down low. Kick out up top. That one might have been a foul, no call, but they're going to call it a block. Out in front, Stevens, after getting the block, fires up a three, no good. Hagdahl Daniel gets the board. Crosses over on Stevens. Pushes the pace. Trailer is Huntley, passes up a shot, sidesteps the defender, is blocked on the shot, so he won't have a chance to make it, but he does get fouled and will head to the line.
Foul. Drew Iberetta, third foul. 15 foul. Line for Kelso, Carter
Drew
Huntley.
Iberetta called for the personal,
2 shots.
and that's going to get Mark Hendrickson off the bench. Iberetta's going to have to sit down as Huntley now 3 for 3 from the foul line.
Mark Hendrickson.
Hits, and now he's got 3 points in the game. First points in a while for Kelso, 32-16. Huntley has that one rattle out, tipped out by Fabian, controlled. Fabian, reverse pivot, goes up off the glass and scores. So it's a 3-point possession for the Highlanders, badly needed. AJ Fabian, his first basket of the game. Good pressure defense on the ball. Toeing the sideline here, nice feed down low. Assist from Stevens. Bogner with the bucket. He's got 10 now. Pump fake on the three, drive into the paint. Feet moved, travel called on Huntley. Bronson Miller into the game for Iddings.
Bronson Miller.
Nate Stevens will bring it up. Bounce pass feed inside on the floor. Traveling called, no foul.
No basket.
Dahl loses a handle trying to pass it off. Bounce pass feed though, near block. Shot no good, altered by Stevens. Tapped around, controlled by Fabian. New life for the Highlanders. Jab step 3 on the way from Hagdahl Daniel. Rolls off. Hendrickson with the board for Mark Morris. Goes across to Stevens now, far sideline. 7 seconds left in the first half. Stevens has a screen from Bogner. Dribbles, steps back. 3 on the way. Good if it goes! Cold-blooded finish to the first half by Dalton Stevens. That gets him in the double figures now with 11, and the lead up to 19 now for the Monarchs. 37-18. Great half for Mark Morris here on Bill Bakamus night. The Mark Morris cheer staff on the court.
For tonight's entertainment, special performance by the Mark Morris cheer competition team led by their coach Brooke Fisher-Clark. For those who always bring the spirit to you, please give them your best spirit and support as these cheerleaders will be representing Mark Morris for the first time in over a decade at a competition level tomorrow at the Jungle Jam Cheer Competition on Auburn Avenue High School. Let's hear it for your Monarch Cheer Competition cheerleaders.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just about a minute away from the start of the second half here between Mark Morris and Kelso. The Monarchs with a comfortable advantage here at the break. 37-18. Mark Morris scoring 19 points there in that second quarter, holding the Hilanders to just 7. So a 12-point advantage there in the second. A big reason here why Mark Morris is out in front by nearly 20 points. Dalton Stevens leading the way with 11. Carson Bogner with 10. Drew Ibarreta with 8. Mark Hendrickson with 6. And Jaden Brooks with 2. The total scoring for Mark Morris at the break. And for Kelso, Triton Hagdahl Daniel with 8. Carter Huntley and Anthony Robinson each with 3. Briar Iddings and A.J. Fabian each with 2. 18 total for Kelso.
$636 for the family in need here at Christmas at Dornbecker. Mark Morris High School thanks you.
It'll be Kelso possession. They're going to go with Fabian, Dahl, Amrine, Iddings, and Hagdahl Daniel. Their starting 5. Same can be said for the Monarchs: Stevens, Brooks, Bogner, and Ibarreta. Bounce pass inside. Ibarreta is rejected on the recovery defense there by Stevens. Stevens showing how valuable he is on both sides of the floor. Dalton faces up, being guarded by Iddings. Pass to the baseline. Bogner looking to go to work on Fabian. Gets it out. Nate Stevens, 4 on the clock, drives to the foul line, far elbow, kicks it back near side. One dribble runner from just inside the line, no good. Ibarreta rebounds, throws it up, feeling the contact of the freshman Dahl, and he gets the call. Those words rhymed.
That's a foul. Owen Dahl, first team foul. Shooting for the Monarchs.
Ibarreta at the charity stripe.
Weiss.
And Ibarreta not able to hit the first. Second free throw, also no good. Ball tapped around, controlled by Hagdahl Daniel. So Kelso gets away unscathed on that Mark Morris trip to the foul line. High screen by Fabian. Iddings dribbling back. Fabian stays there, ready to screen, gets in front of Bogner. Extra pass here to the near side. Hagdahl Daniel has it stripped away. Ball loose and picked up by Bogner. Good defense there by the Monarchs. Bogner takes a dribble, looking to enter. Instead goes to the top of the circle. Stevens, good ball fake, gets Amrine up, drives to the near side. Ibarreta now with it, enters it. Ball kicked out. Stevens a few feet behind the line, no. Rebound controlled by Dahl. Dahl looking to drive into the teeth of the Monarchs defense. Goes around the defender. Great play there by Owen Dahl. Gets the first basket of the second half. Stevens uses a screen momentarily. Roll by Bogner, loses it out of bounds. Turnover back to Kelso. Good play design there. The pass unable to be handled there by Carson. High screen set by Fabian. No switch on defense needed though. Amrine now goes to the baseline. Hagdahl Daniel dribbles, jump stop, turns, hooks, no good. Airballed. Rebound Nate Stevens. Stevens moves it to Stevens, the law firm. 3 on the way! Count the bucket and 1. Oh, no and 1. Oh, it's going to be no free throws. It's going to be Mark Morris possession. like it was on the shot to me. What a bucket, though. Ibarreta moves it far side. Nate Stevens being guarded by Amrine. Bogner, head fakes, passes it back to Nate. Nate, 3 on the way. Yeah, a 6-point possession. Kelso up the near sideline quickly. Fabian attacks, goes up strong. AJ Fabian with a bucket. Timeout after the made basket by Kelso. We'll keep it here on this side. It's a 30-second timeout. Fans, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here in just a second.
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of R.A. Long and Mark Morris High School on N2 Media. Call financial advisor Ryan Littlefield at 360-916-4650 or visit him at 911 11th Avenue in Longview for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Back here at Mark Morris High School. 43-22, it's a 21-point advantage for Mark Morris. They are just scorching hot tonight from long range. .507 to go, third quarter, and it'll be Monarchs possession. Nate Stevens to inbound. They go to the corner, 3 up and on the way, no good from Dalton. And a foul called on Nate. Kelso possession. That is the second team foul. Carter Huntley into the game here. Gets it to Fabian. Dahl down low. Fabian goes up. Count. Oh, no. Offensive foul called. Takes away a basket.
Offensive foul. AJ Fabian is first, 13.
I don't know about that. A lot of dribbling far side. Flash to the high post. Henderson kicks it back out. Far wing. 3-point line extended. Stevens being guarded tightly by Huntley. Now Ibarreta with it on the logo. Moves it back to that far side. Stevens jacks it up. No good. Rebound down low to Amrine. Skip pass near side. Iddings pulls the trigger. No. Rebound Hendrickson. Ball fought for. Foul called by the official on the baseline, Eric Cheatley, and it's going to go against Tucker Amrine. It's going to be his third personal, and it's the fourth team foul here on Kelso. 4:03 to go, so the next foul, Mark Morris will be on the line shooting.
Also for Kelso, number 35, Parker Stewart.
Mark Morris gets it across. Stevens now with it back to Ibarreta. Little looks like matchup zone being played here by the Hilanders. Monarchs working to the high post in their zone breaker and stay out here on the perimeter with 10 on the shot clock. Entry pass, looking to go to work back to the basket. Stevens bumps into Iddings. Iddings flops, no call. Shot up, no good. Stevens misses, gets his rebound. Another offensive rebound by Ibarreta. Throws it up and in. Was expecting a foul called. Didn't get it, but instead will settle for the bucket. A 3 by Robinson. Cash. His second triple. Whistles. Officials timeout. Ibarreta now in double figures with 10 after the made basket.
For the Monarchs, number 33, Mac West.
Mac West checking in for Bogner. And also in there, number 10, Zane Armstrong for Mark Morris. Ibaretta bounce pass, baseline, gets it back. Ibaretta left open, a far wing three, bounces in. Wow, when it's your night, it's your night.
True Ibaretta. Officials timeout.
And another officials timeout here. Ibaretta with 13. He's really come on so far here in the early parts of the season. Iddings trying to drive baseline is fouled on the floor. See who they get this one on, if it's on Hendrickson or Armstrong, and it's going to go on Hendrickson, his second.
Second team foul.
Inbound goes to Robinson. Huntley drives to the elbow, picks it up. Iddings is open, takes the three, and it's good. Big bucket there for Ryer Iddings. He's got 5, lead down to 20. Still a long way to go here for the Highlanders. Pass to the elbow, back out near side, three-point land. Stevens moves it top of the circle, gets it back, nearly a steal, picks up his dribble. Rotation goes to the far side. Hendrickson dribbling out of the corner, floats, misses the shot, foul called. Looked like he might have been trying to find someone to pass to.
Stewart, second 15 foul. Mark Hendrickson will shoot 2.
Free throw is good for Hendrickson. He's got 7 off the bench here. Misses that one short, but Dalton's there for the offensive rebound. Straight up on the defense there was Reese White, and he collects the rebound. Good job there. White in off the bench. Gets it passed down low. Goes reverse layup. Foul called as he misses the shot. He'll head to the line. Looks like they're going to get this one on Zane Armstrong.
Is first, 13 foul. Reese White.
And Reese White at the line. Has the first one roll off. Tim says, is it just me, but when I played at Mark Morris, I always found the court to be a bit cold temperature-wise. Well, we got a foul after the free throw is missed on the box out. It's going to go against Stewart. That's the 5th team foul. See if this is free throws.
In the bonus.
And it is going to be free throws the other way. Well, Tim, I never played a varsity game here. I was hurt my entire varsity year. I loved playing here at Mark Morris. I originally went to Robert Gray and Cascade, so when I went over to Huntington, I always loved playing against Cascade or Mark Morris. I knew everybody, grew up with them, so it was always fun. Same thing could be said for you Longview guys at RA Long. I'm sure you played against them growing up as well, but I always loved coming over here to Mark Morris. Obviously, the court was a little bit different, but Dalton Stevens at the line. First one rattles out. Classic Monarchs rim here. Either super friendly or super unkind. Really no in between. Second free throw is good for Dalton. 15 in the ball game. Stewart goes strong, misses the shot. Foul called, and he'll head to the line for 2. So Parker Stewart at the free throw line.
2 shots, Parker Stewart.
First rattles out.
10 Tucker Amrine. Number 1, Owen Dahlman for Kelso. And for the Monarchs, Number 22, Jaden Brooks.
Tucker Amrine and Dahl back out there for the Highlanders. Mac West and Brooks out there. Second free throw is good by Stewart. He's in the score column now with 1. Pass here gets out of bounds on the near sideline. Nice jumper there off the dribble, not able to be hit. Stewart tied up with Brooks. Jump ball is called. Mark Morris will have the possession arrow. Nate Stevens checking in for Iberetta. (50-29). Mark Morris on top here. This one nearly gets out of bounds. And it's going to be double dribble called. Wasn't sure if they were going to get that or over and back. .107 to go here in the third. Handoff, a little pick and roll action. Robinson floats, has it down and out. Offensive rebound, White. Left-hand shot, no good on the putback. Loose ball collected by Hendrickson. Hendrickson throws it out of bounds, and Robinson cannot believe it. And it looks like they're going to reverse the call. It's going to be Kelso ball. White to inbound. Lobs it in. Robinson can't come away with it. Ball loose on the near sideline, picked up by Stevens. Stevens, jumper from the foul line. Doesn't hit iron. Rebound, White. Under a minute to go here. In fact, approaching 30 seconds. And a foul on the drive is going to put Robinson at the free throw line.
That was the Monarchs' Nate Stevens' 4th foul. 15 foul.
That's Nate Stevens' 4th foul. So Nate in big foul trouble here, and Iberetta has been playing with 3 fouls.
Robinson, 2 shots.
Anthony Robinson at the line here. He's got 6 so far. Hits the first.
23, Carson Bogner back for the Monarchs.
Carson Bogner checks in for Nate Stevens. Carter Huntley back in for Tucker Amrine. And the free throw by Robinson missed. Mac West pulls down the board. Him and Stewart battling for that one. Mark Morris can hold for the final shot, essentially. Shot clock and game clock about even. Stevens controls it at the logo, being guarded by Huntley. Huntley pressures up. Stays with him, and a foul on the floor. It's going to be free throws here for Dalton. That's just the first personal for Carter Huntley.
Dalton Stevens will shoot for the Monarchs 2 times.
First free throw good from Dalton. Now 16 in the ball game. Second free throw, good. Whistles. And a substitution coming in for Kelso. Tucker Amrine comes in. 9.3 to go here in the third. Dahl with it now. Gets it across. Nope, doesn't get it across. Back here to Huntley. Huntley jump stop at the elbow, gets it back. Dahl, one dribble, step back, not going to go. And I don't even know if it would have counted. Bogner got a hand on it and deflected it. The Monarchs lead it here 52-30 after 3.
Thanks to Bob Sporting Goods for supporting our half-court shot. We'll try it again next Thursday versus Columbia River.
Fans, consider a small monetary donation to the live stream host here at N2 Media. Venmo preferred, PayPal acceptable. Best live stream fans in the world, if you ask me. Tim says when I was playing, it seemed like every other play there was a traveling call or a carry or something more technical. Yeah, they used to call those infractions quite often back in the day, back when basketball was a little bit more, I don't know, about the team. Speaking from an NBA level standpoint here, by the way. But, yeah, I mean, even in high school, the calls were always tight. I think nowadays officials are really quick to call fouls more than anything else. I think that they want to try to keep as much control on the game as possible and not let things get overly emotional and overly physical. Kelso starts with the ball here to begin the fourth quarter. Huntley being guarded by West. Hagdahl Daniel rolls to the basket. Foul from behind. Hendrickson poked the ball loose, but got a piece of Triton, and he's going to pick up the personal foul for his effort. That's his third personal. So the Monarchs, a couple of them as a team, are really creeping up there in the foul column. Iddings gets a handoff, moves it to Amrine, who strokes a three, no good. Rebound, Hendrickson. Bogner looking to go to work here on Fabian, using that footwork very well. Stevens jabs, crosses over, hits the deck. He's done that a few times. Offensive rebound, though, the Bogner. Ibaretta with it now. Facing up, Bogner still with his dribble. Foul called away from the ball. It's going to go against Amrine. Amrine smiling after that call. It's his fourth personal. Inbound goes inside. Nice pass from Hendrickson to Dalton Stevens. Stevens with the finish. Iddings for three in front of the Kelso bench. Leaves it a little short. Mark Hendrickson with the rebound. Hendrickson's had a really good game off the bench here, contributing all over the court for Mark Morris. Bounce pass, and we've got a foul here against Kelso. Oh, excuse me, on Mark Hendrickson. That's his fourth. 6:17 left in the ball game here. Mark Morris kind of in cruise control at the moment. Ball denied, saved, out of bounds, off of Kelso. That's a classic Monarchs hustle play there by Nate Stevens on the far sideline. Playing aggressive with those four fouls and able to generate a turnover. Bogner gets it out. Ibaretta head fakes, drives left, dishes it off here. Now Stevens crosses over on Iddings. Hop step, challenges Fabian, misses the shot. Hagdahl Daniel secures the rebound. Huntley now with it for Kelso. Crosses over, working on Stevens. Iddings with it now. Tries to get by. Stevens is blocked but fouled. And they're going to get the foul, I think, on Bogner. Yes, Bogner called for the personal. And free throws now coming here for Briar Iddings. That is the third Monarchs team foul now.
Check that foul was on Carson Bogner.
And the free throw is good. And now a chance of who's your barber from the student section. Wow. Free throw no good. That might have rattled Iddings a little bit there. It would rattle me a little. Tim in the comment section says they used to wear coat and ties. Yeah, you know, oh wow. When it's your night, it's your night. Stevens. Pass down low, Hagdahl Daniel goes up. Misses the shot, foul called. This will be the fourth Monarchs team foul, exactly 5 minutes to go.
14, Reese White in for Kelso.
And we've got a full timeout, Mark Morris. We'll keep it here on this side of the gym. Well, fans, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. Be sure to press the like button if you could on the live stream. Tim says game days in the late 90s and early 2000s, athletes and coaches were supposed to dress up. That was the accepted norm. You're damn right it was. You know, Coach Bakamus wore a jacket, shirt, collar, tie, beautiful slacks and dress shoes, and every Monarch that he coached, including all the assistants, wore nothing but suits and nice shirts and ties. Coach Ken Kelly reigning in a new era of Monarchs basketball this year. His team decked out in the Monarchs Columbia blue polos. Society norms have gotten a little bit more laxed over the course of the last 20 years or so, Tim, so not a shocker. Kelso basketball, 57-31. Pass down low, loose. Iddings comes away with it. Goes all the way across the court on the baseline. Bounce pass feed to White. White, count the bucket and one. Reese White with his first points of the game.
Count the bucket, Reese White. Leonard foul Mac West, his third. White, one shot.
White hits to convert the three-point play. Bogner bounce pass back to the top of the circle. Stevens now working with it. It's Hendrickson goes to the near corner. Stevens puts it on the deck and drives, challenges White, foul called. Nate Stevens will head to the line here.
Also foul Reese White, second. Second team foul. Nate Stevens, 2 shots.
Stevens hits the first. Four in the game for Nate Stevens. And now 5. Well, the last time that these two teams met in this gym, it was a Deacon Dietz game-winning 3 for the Monarchs to get the win as Iddings misses a pair of three-pointers, but another offensive board here. Mark Morris a little bit more comfortably in front here in the fourth quarter, leading this one by 25. White off the dribble. Yeah, nice play there by Reese White. Another younger guy there for Kelso. Good measurables. It's a good play to make. Stevens being guarded by Huntley, picks up his dribble, looking for some help. Bogner dribbles in, passes it, far side, three by Dalton. No. Mac West collides with Robinson. West falls down. Long outlet up ahead. White clutches in the air, misses the shot. Bogner secures the board. West, shot up, no good. Foul called. It's going to be on the floor. It'll be the third team foul on Kelso, and we're going to get some subs. Dahl back into the game for Kelso, as well as Bronson Miller and Parker Stewart. Bounce pass in the paint. One dribble, jump stop and shot. Beautiful by Bogner. Very smooth. White faces up, being guarded by Bogner, takes it right at him. Little step back floater, misses it. Rebound, Dalton Stevens. 2:35 to go in the ball game. Near corner, getting on the near block is Hendrickson instead. Ibaretta goes to Stevens, who takes a couple dribbles in and hits a tough jumper. Those are tough to stop your body and momentum and square up. Ball tapped and stolen. Ibaretta comes away with it. And nearly stolen back by the Highlanders. Ibaretta recovers. Now near side. Nate Stevens with it. Enters the paint. And has the ball tied up. Keeps it. Now working on the near block. Stevens, drop step spin near side off the glass. No good. Rebound goes to White. Now Dahl leads the break. Far sideline. Slows it up just a little bit. Has a screen by Stewart. Nice roll by Stewart. Rolls himself on the spin move. Misses it. No good. Rebound to Ibaretta. Whistle. And we're going to have a substitution timeout here.
Number 11, Evan Peters.
Zane Armstrong and Evan Peters, number 11, into the ball game. And they're going to take a timeout here instead.
2 30-second timeouts, one full.
.125 to go in this one, 63-36. Mark Morris is going to add to their record. They will move to 6-0 after this one. Kelso still looking for their first win. They're going to be taking on Tumwater coming up on Monday. More tough games on the non-league slate for the Highlanders. Coach Fowler, yes, absolutely. Straight to me, Venmo, at N2 Media. Super simple. Tim, thank you so much for the compliments. Yeah, a lot of talented ballers in this small area here in the state of Washington. See, here's the I Believe chant again, though, late in the fourth quarter with a minute left. And now we've got the referees wanting to make sure things don't get out of control.
The Monarchs, number 5, Tate Armstrong, 31, Carter Hudich, check in.
I'm glad you guys enjoy the live streams. It really makes me happy to be able to come out and help the community I grew up in and love the sport of basketball. My 4th grade son, Vaughn, is very talented at basketball and determined. Him and my other son, Preston, are at home with Mama watching. Love you guys. And I couldn't do it without them and their support. Nice feed inside. The Monarchs still working. This is a 3, no good from Armstrong, but a rebound comes out here. Number 30, Xander Genro, into the ball game, as well as Tate Armstrong, number 5. Zane working with it now, and with the ball, Carter Huda enters it. Genro tied up by Dahl. Jump ball is called, and again, more after the play. Genro just in off the bench and mixing it up there with the freshman Owen Dahl. Book it. That ball's thrown away. Bronson Miller, the intended target. And that's going to do it here, folks. Mark Morris is going to win this one, dribble it across half court as the shot clock is off. And Bill Bakamus night is a success here at Mark Morris High School in Bill Bakamus Gymnasium on Ted Nat Court. Final score in this one, Mark Morris defeats the Kelso Hilanders 63-36. Fans, I need you to stick around for a few minutes and vote for me, please. Player of the game. I'll go over the numbers here in just a second. First, I gotta add them up. All right, I think I got them all straight here. 63 points, that's what I got on my sheet here. So hopefully they are accurately dispersed. Dalton Stevens leads the way with 22 points for the Monarchs. Drew Ibarreta ends up with 13, second in line. Carson Bogner with 12. Mark Hendrickson and Nate Stevens each with 7 off the bench, and Jaden Brooks with 2. Total scoring tonight for the Monarchs at 63. And again, they move to 6-0 on the season, 2-0 in GSHL league play still. This game not affecting those standings. Triton Hagdahl Daniel ends up with 8 points to lead the Highlanders in scoring. Anthony Robinson with 7. Briar Iddings with 6. Reese White with 5. AJ Fabian with 4. Carter Huntley with 3. Owen Dahl with 2. And Parker Stewart with 1. 36 total tonight for the Highlanders in the loss. A 27-point win here for the Monarchs. They are off to a very good start here in the early parts of the season. Again, 6-0 on the year. Kelso drops to 0-3. The competition will get tougher next week for the Monarchs. They are going to head on the road Tuesday against Ridgefield. That will be our next live stream coverage Tuesday down at the Hot Potato in Ridgefield. And then Thursday, we're going to be right back here. It's basically Mark Morris week. It'll be the Mark Morris Monarchs hosting the Columbia River Rapids. What a ball game that's going to be. see if I'm missing another one of the live streams, but the Monarchs definitely are going to be tested next week. It should be a very good game against Columbia River, and it could be a really good game, honestly, against Ridgefield as well. Ridgefield was in double OT tonight at least against WF West. So we're going to have 3 in a row. We're going to have Tuesday, boys, Mark Morris at Ridgefield. Wednesday, girls, Ridgefield at Mark Morris. And then Thursday, it'll be Columbia River here at Mark Morris. So 3 straight games with the Mark Morris Monarchs. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Vaughn. Appreciate it. Hendrickson getting a lot of votes here. 7 off the bench. Oh, boy. I mean, I usually leave it up to the live stream comment section for determining player of the game. But, man, I mean, I have a hard time with that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take anything away from Mr. Mark Hendrickson tonight. I think he did good. Really good, actually, off the bench. But, man, I always give it to Dalton Stevens, it seems, as of late, because he's just done so well, and he affected the game in so many ways here. 22. I mean, I think that Carson Bogner really did a lot of good things here tonight for Mark Morris in the win. And you could also even look at Drew Ibarreta. You know, I think that most nights Stevens is going to get his points. You know, he's that type of guy. He's going to get 20, 25, maybe more each night just because he's a freak athlete and he's got a high basketball IQ. He's strong downhill, gets to the rim and finishes. So he's definitely going to always seem to get his points. Bogner to me, he set the tone early. He had a really good first quarter. He displayed tremendous touch around the basket, helped generate a lot of second chance opportunities, whether he was grabbing a rebound or keeping a ball alive. His footwork was so impressive. I like the fact that he came out with the mentality that he was going to score the basketball and help his team out in that category. He's the type of guy who gets overlooked a lot about what he contributes on the court. I think Drew Ibarreta did a fantastic job running the offense. He hit some shots big early, played with some foul trouble, and stayed available. Your best ability is availability. So those 2 guys are really who I'm looking at here tonight. Again, I could cop out and give it to Dalton Stevens any night. But, man, I just have a feeling that, you know, Bogner's the type of guy who deserves the recognition of the work that he's put in. And I'm going to give it to Carson Bogner here tonight. He's got 12 points and a lot of extra plays to go along with it. So congratulations, Carson, player of the game here tonight. Bill Bakamus night on Ted Nat Court here now in Bill Bakamus Gymnasium. Final score 63-36. Dalton Stevens did do great, Vaughn. I agree. And he's probably going to end up being the team MVP of the season with the way things are going. And he's got a good shot of being the league MVP as well. But there's a lot of time left. There's a lot of season left, and there's a lot of good players. Ari Richardson from Columbia River just went for 43 last night in a 42-point win at Ridgefield. Folks, the Columbia River Rapids are real, and they're really hungry to have a chance to beat Mark Morris after losing the district championship to him last year. Ari Long has got a really, really deep roster, 7 extremely talented players that can go at any time. You know, there's a lot to determine this season, but Dalton is definitely a guy who's in the running for player of the year here in the early going. But again, lots to talk about. Let's switch over real quick to the Kelso Hilanders. You know, Triton Hagdahl Daniel with 8 points here tonight. He's not normally, you know, the type of guy who's going to probably threaten the 20-point plateau. He definitely has the ability to do it. But, you know, Kelso's really going to need to establish who their second and third scoring options are going to be. They got a lot of guys that ended up scoring tonight, though. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different guys ended up scoring points here tonight for the Highlanders. That's good disbursement. They just struggled to shoot the 3 ball here tonight. They had a couple get knocked down by Anthony Robinson. There's just going to have to be some growing pains here with the Highlanders. They're going to have to learn to develop some consistency. A big loss is not having Alex Dieter available, being injured, and I don't know if he's going to have a chance to get back out there this season, but, that's a kid that, I think that most people were pretty high on in the Kelso program to be another option. And, without his services, it's really tough. So, I'm not going to give up on where Kelso's at. Again, I think they're going to be much improved over the course of the season. Having playing all these tough teams this year is going to harden you. It's a sink or swim mentality. And I just go back to, talking with Coach Kinch before the season at the end of the Jamboree, and, he mentioned that the non-league schedule was a point of emphasis to try to get as many tough games as possible. And, it ain't no doubt they're playing tough teams, and they're going to continue to do that. They're going to play Tumwater next week, and they've got a tough league schedule with Evergreen and Mountain View. It's not going to be easy for Kelso this year, but the hope is by the end of it all, they're going to be much improved, and they're going to hopefully be in a position to where they can make the postseason. There's some things I like from almost everybody. I like where Owen Dahl is as a freshman. I like where A.J. Fabian is at. I think that those guys can improve a lot over the course of the year, but for right now, they're doing pretty well. Carter Huntley's doing good coming in. These are some younger guys. Reese White ended up with 5 here tonight. Anthony Robinson, like I said, 7 points, shot the ball pretty well. Briar Iddings, battled all night long and was a workhorse, trying to draw as many fouls as he could. Going up against Stevens at times, giving up 4 or 5 inches in height and a lot of length. So, Kelso really did a good job in battling. Rick asks, what's the final score? The final score was 63-36, Mark Morris. But a lot to learn from if you're the Kelso side. It's a good opportunity to come and play these games. They're going to play RA Long here on the 23rd. That's going to be our next live stream involving both RA Long and Kelso. That's again going to be December 23rd over at Kelso High School. It's a Monday, so be sure to set your reminders. I'm sure some of you might be traveling to destinations unknown for the holidays, but that's what we have to look forward to for Kelso basketball, taking on the RA Long Lumberjacks over at Kelso High School. But again, next week we'll be back doing Mark Morris. It's going to be on the road Tuesday at Ridgefield High School. Wednesday back here, girls' turn, Ridgefield against Mark Morris. And then Thursday, one of the big ones, Columbia River, comes to town to take on the Mark Morris Monarchs. Again, your final tonight, 63-36. Player of the game, Carson Bogner, ends up with 12. Leading scorer, though, Dalton Stevens with 22. Well, fans, I thank you all so much for your support watching the live stream here tonight. And if you're not followed to our page that you're watching on, please be sure to follow and subscribe. It helps out, believe it or not. Having more viewership does make a difference. All right, guys, so I'm going to get on out of here and pack things up. The gymnasium's going to start to get bare here in just a couple of minutes. Nick Sisson on behalf of N2 Media saying so long from Mark Morris High School. Again, 63-36 here on Bill Bakamus night. Mark Morris still undefeated at 6-0. We'll see you guys all Tuesday night at Ridgefield at 7 o'clock. So long, everyone.